Okay, so today we have Plainsong by The Cure, the opener to one of the greatest albums of the 80s, Disintegration. And, you guys like The Cure, I like The Cure, so it's just a win-win for everybody. And I always love coming back to a song I haven't heard from them. So, let's get into this. Over 5 minutes long, I believe, and let's go back in time and listen to Robert Smith's beautiful voice. My God. A voice that has not aged. I mean, my God. If you hear him today, he's still good. Wind chimes or something. Holy moly. Oh, okay, so Plainsong from The Cure. So like I don't even know where to start because I said during the video, the song was extravagant, and I wanted to say a few more things during the song, but I figured might as well just wait till the end. Anyway, and this is like I said, so extravagant, so glorious, so heavenly. I think of if there is a heaven or whatever, when you go up to those pearly gates, as they say, this is the kind of song I would imagine that would be playing. And the way Robert Smith, his vocals here, because he doesn't really go to a, I guess, higher register or whatever. He kind of stays in the kind of same low key kind of feeling, I guess, kind of sound where he's just talking about it's so cold, and it's just like that voice, just orgasmic. I mean, my God, and it's just one of the greatest voices I've come across, on this channel, or, one of the greatest voices of the 80s or all time. I mean, my God. And again, I always have to say, but, you look at a performance of his, even recently, and his voice just, like, hasn't really changed at all. He still sounds like he's 30 or something. But anyway, and, searching the song up, I see that, I guess it was a few years ago now, but he did I guess a tribute to his wife. And again, I just love how much, it sounds dumb, but I love how much he loves his wife. Because again, I guess they were high school sweethearts, and, in 1988, I think they got married, and Robert, did the song Love Song, which I think appeared on this album as well. But anyway, and I guess he was serenading her by singing this song, and it's just like, that's the whole, I just love their whole relationship. I mean, that's just marriage goals. I mean, there's, relationship goals, all that stuff, how much they love each other. And, I just think about how Robert, was serenading her with this song, just beautiful. And just adds to the beauty of the song. Because again, we're talking about, I guess, love, some themes of love, talking about life. I mean, we're talking about the turmoils of life. Almost like kind of, we'll get to the lyrics soon, but kind of almost in a way of like the end of life, it seems like too. But yeah, it's just, but I mean, how the song starts off, like I said, it's just so glorious, and it's just so, it's a deluxe kind of song, if that even is the word I want to use. But like I said, there's just so much beauty to this, and so much prettiness about it. And from the instruments, I'm looking at the personnel here, of course. This is for the album Disintegration, but Robert Smith, of course, on guitars, vocals, keyboards. Of course, Simon Gallup on bass and keyboards. Hold the phone. Had to burp. Anyway, Porl Thompson on guitars as well. Boris Williams on drums and percussion. Roger O'Donnell on keyboards. And this is Lowell Tolhurst. It says other instruments. So anyway, and I just have to say, though, Boris Williams on drums here, the way, the song is so beautiful and so light, and all that stuff, but at the same time heavy. I have to say, I guess it's not very light, because the song is heavy with all these instruments and the, I guess you would say, reverb or the echoing or whatever of Robert's voice, which I loved. And but anyway, Boris Williams on drums here, he's just pounding those drums. And he was such a big hitter here. He was so obviously unmissable and impeccable at his craft in this one. And it's just like it added even more to the whole, I guess, deepness of the track, the whole heaviness of the track. Because I guess it's not light at all. I don't know why I said it was light, but the whole heaviness of it. And I guess just the lightness is just Robert's voice, because he has such a light voice. But anyway, and yeah, I guess what I want to say is Boris was just perfect on this. And again, the guitars, of course, from Porl Thompson, like I said, and I guess Robert Smith were just, impeccable as well. And just shooting to the sky, it's just, this song was just, from, like I said, from the instruments to Robert's voice, it was just heavenly. And I love this so much. So much. It's just like, it's so grand. It was so big and grand. And like I said, it was, as the opening track to the whole album, it was a sign of things to come for what else you were about to hear. So then with the lyrics, we go on, of course, the instrumental intro, which I've talked about so much now, it's heavenly, my God. Anyway, then we go on to the first verse, and again, Robert's this slow kind of delivery on this, and just, his feeling, you can feel everything, his passion. Anyway, I think it's dark, and it looks like it's rain, you said. And the wind is blowing like it's the end of the world, you said. And it's so cold, it's like the cold if you are dead, so that you talk about death a little bit, and then you smile for a second. So the way that this person, this person that's, I guess, talking to Robert, they're talking about the rain, they're talking about the weather, like how they feel, I guess, how their emotions feel. They feel like rain, they feel like the wind is blowing, whatever, inside them, I guess. And then, but at the end, it's that kind of thing, and then you smile for a second. Almost like, because there's a whole thing of, smiling what is it, laughing to keep from crying, or whatever that saying is. And there's a little bit of that going on, is what I feel anyway. You talk about how, you feel so cold, and you feel as cold as if you were dead. And maybe this person is near the end of, life or whatever. That's what I get as well, as talked about with, life's turmoil and stuff. And anyway, but at the end they say, and then at the end they smile. Just kind of a way of saying, instead of crying, gotta put a brave face on, you have that kind of smile or something. Anyway, maybe I'm putting too much into it, but that's what comes to me. Then we go into the second verse. And again, I didn't realize there's not really many lyrics. There are just 2 verses, a bridge, and then the instrumental outro. But anyway, and I guess this didn't really need too many words, but because the the music was just, great enough. Anyway, I think I'm old and I'm feeling pain, you said. So, more, to give to the whole, I guess, point of me saying, like, it sounds like they're close to death or something, saying, I think I'm old and I'm feeling pain. And it's all running out like it's the end of the world, you said. And it's so cold. It's like the cold if you were dead. And then you smiled for a second. Again, giving off these whole vibes of, being near death, being sad, being cold, all this stuff. But at the end, and then you smiled. Just like, my God. And I just want to say also, whether this person, because they say, I think I'm old and I'm feeling pain. They say, I think I'm old. So it's like, they might not be old at all. They might, be young or whatever, or middle-aged, whatever it is. But they feel old. They feel that pain. And it's also like, is this person, again, I'm just, in my interpretation of, almost like smiling before death, again, like almost like it sounds like they're on their deathbed or something, or maybe they're just going through a bad bout of depression or sadness or something like that. And anyway, going on with the bridge here, sometimes you make me feel like I'm living at the edge of the world, like I'm living at the edge of the world. It's just the way I smile, you said. And I just love that repetition of you said, say, I don't know what it is, but just that, how Robert keeps saying at the end, to say, you said this or whatever. It's just the way I smile, you said. And again, it's just that, I guess, finding, with a loved one, whatever, finding solace, finding happiness in a loved one's smile, or just in a smile, smiling yourself when you're in a time of, darkness, or in a time of, death almost, or a time of, like I said, turmoil. And, but at the same time, there's always beauty in, I guess, those times still, whether it's a smile, whether it's, a laugh or whatever it is. And, just such a beautiful song, such a sentimental, emotional track as well. And I see why, again, I talked about, Robert's wife and how he, serenaded her with this song a while back, and I guess I just keep coming back to that. Because again, he obviously, these guys, those two have loved each other for so long, I guess, it's been, 1988, 35 years, I guess, since they got married. And, when he says, like I'm living at the edge of the world, like I'm living at the edge of the world, I think about how maybe he wrote that about his wife or whatever. Because, again, he wrote, a couple songs about her, and especially a song on this one, like I said, with Love Song. But anyway, it's just, like he's on the edge of the world, and it's just that the way you smile, or the way I smile, you said. And it's just, Robert, he always writes with so much feeling, and he sings with so much feeling, passion. It's always lovely. My God. But anyway, if you want to, put your interpretations down below or whatever you think about the song. But again, I feel like it's all about, obviously talking about life, talking about death, talking about finding beauty in, some times of trouble. And, and again, just being, and then you smile for a second. It's just the way he writes this, the way he gives these lyrics off, delivers them. It's just so uncanny. And so, no one else could sing like Robert Smith, obviously. And his songwriting has always been so moving. So anyway, I guess that's all I gotta say. So I always love coming back to The Cure. The song, was requested long ago, and it's been requested by many other people. So I'm glad I finally got to it. And like I already said, this is just an unimaginable opener to one of the greatest albums of the '80s. It's been ranked as one of the greatest albums of the '80s. So that's not just me putting friggin' dust up The Cure's bums or whatever. But anyway, so thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, all that stuff. Really appreciate all the support. Always happy to come back to The Cure, and I'll react to The Cure until the day I die. God damn. Anyway, thanks for watching. Talk to you guys again soon.